Disclaimer. The opinions and speculations presented in discussions about true crime are based on available information, public records, and individual perspectives. They do not constitute factual claims or legal conclusions. Content provided is for entertainment purposes only.
Do you still believe this attack was done by one perpetrator? And if so, how does one individual kill 4 people at night and not wake up the other 2 roommates?
Our investigation will continue to look at all avenues of that investigation. I cannot disclose any of that information. I don't even know that information at this point in time, and that's why we're continuing to investigate.
You don't know.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Order in the court!
Hey guys, welcome to Strange Suspicion. If you haven't been here before, my name is Pia, and we've been diving pretty deep into this Bryan Kohberger case. If you are a paid member or an unpaid subscriber, welcome back guys. Thanks for being here. I want to thank everybody for sharing the video so much on Monday. That video got so many views and we got almost 120 new subscribers off of that video. This community is amazing. I hope that we can help solve this case. I'm not sure that the Moscow Police Department can solve this case or the FBI. They have so many people on this case that it is unreal. I can't even believe it's like 15 and a half FBI agents per victim. I don't recall ever reading anything about Jack DeCour having any kind of gag order, but I do remember when I saw everybody speaking, like when Steve Goncalves went up there with his wife and his children, and Jack DeCour had his arm around Kaylee's mom. There was just like this very strange moment where he just looked up at Steve and had nothing to say. I don't see anything public that Jack D has ever said. I wonder if there's a gag order. Could there be?
I'll cut to the chase.
Yeah.
Their means of death don't match.
Maddie's
They don't.
and Kaylee's cause of death, it does not match based on the autopsy report.
They don't match.
Would indicate that one of them.
He doesn't have to
may
go
been
up the
target.
steps. Let's stop playing games, guys. I need somebody to step up and be an alpha. Be somebody to be a leader. Don't make me do it. I don't want to do it. He doesn't have to go up the steps. Their points of damage don't match. I'm just gonna say it. It wasn't leaked to me. I earned that. I paid for that funeral. I paid for that. It's my right. You ain't taking that from me.
Calm down.
If you don't want to say nothing, that's your bet. But don't say I'm leaking anything. I paid that bill. Sent my daughter to college to get an education. She came back in the box, and I can speak on that.
Attention is this right here. At 15 minutes, 43 seconds into the video, I believe this is Jack D's house. Jack D, as in Kaylee's ex-boyfriend. Look in the driveway.
The search to track down that car has no limits.
Police investigating an Elantra that was involved in a car crash in Eugene, Oregon, though they quickly ruled out any association to this case.
We have talked with the police department down there as well. We've talked with the owner, and we can pretty safely say that that vehicle and that person is not associated with our crimes.
Goncalves indicated that many Elantra owners are submitting their car's information to law enforcement during this investigation.
Gonna have to do more work myself. I'm not going to sit here and just be a crybaby dad.
Maybe it's not suspicious to any of you, but it is actually suspicious to me that Jack DeCour has had nothing to say about the love of his life, who he's been with for years. Steve and Christy, Kaylee's parents, publicly stated that they thought they would be married one day. I don't see any Jack DeCour videos where he's pleading with people to help find who did this to her. Jack DeCoeur, Jack Showalter, and Hunter are very suspect to me. But when I hear Steve say things like, we should check the genealogy because people have cousins that go here and uncles and relatives that go to the same school. And Jack Showalter being cleared so early, having been the only known last person besides whoever drove them home. I don't know who that is. But Jack Showalter, followed by this person who drove them home, are the last people to see Maddie and Kaylee, the last people proven to be around Maddie and Kaylee. I don't know how you can clear somebody that quickly. It makes absolutely no sense. And then the guy's out of town immediately. So maybe they had no choice because they didn't know where he was. But I would think you would check in if you found out there was 4 murders, and I'd want to go to the police right away, wouldn't you? And explain, I saw them up until, and then explain what happened. Maybe he did. Maybe he called. But I'll tell you this, there is a John Showalter and a Jack Showalter. He's on camera with them late at night. And then all of a sudden decided after that he was just going to drive up to his parents' cabin. It's a weird spur-of-the-moment decision in the middle of the night. I mean, maybe he had to be there early. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but it just seems like a weird coincidence that he would take like some out-of-town trip right after these people are found murdered. I don't know if Bryan Kohberger has any relatives at the University of Idaho. So I don't know who else he could have been referencing. He also mentions the fact that these are young people. It's an IT-based community. They're all on apps. They're all on the internet. They're constantly staring at their phones.
Kindles, computer printers, smartphones, of course, because they have AirDrop, Apple Watches, TVs, speakers, cable boxes, video game controllers, washers, dryers, refrigerators. I mean, if you've got one of these souped-up new appliances, they've even got Bluetooth and even air conditioners and purifiers. So it might not just be the Bluetooth speaker.
The technology we have today should have no issue doing something like that. This is done in all kinds of investigations. The state of Idaho want people to believe that this is an open and shut case. They have one suspect. I find it really, really hard to believe that Bryan Kohberger could be the only suspect in this case. That's insane. They were saying that they had 10,000 tips.
Join me. Perhaps you may be able to help solve a mystery.
Suspect. A bit under the influence of marijuana.
What is going on? Why would they need so many people from the FBI for this open and shut case? Why is it that every time Bryan appeals their decision to seal evidence, they reject it? He's trying to be transparent.
Yeah, when I seen the defendant, I seen somebody that looked like he was overwhelmed and had no idea what was going on. He didn't look as confident as I thought he was going to be based off of his background. Did a research before I came into that courtroom. I was looking for a certain look. I wanted him to meet me eye to eye. He had done that exact same behavior previously when he was in Pennsylvania, and he chose not to, or he was afraid to look back. And for me, that wasn't a good sign.
What about the fact that he smiled?
I didn't see it. I heard about that later. I don't know. It's hard to comment on that.
Your eyes are the entry point to your soul. And I want to look into his soul and see what's there. And he didn't give that opportunity. So maybe one day. And he knows what he's got to put together as a defendant. He has to figure out how to get himself out of that spot. And I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
But I try to look at the people close to the case and what they've actually said on TV, like publicly. It looks to me like Steve has always had some kind of feeling that the police were just out of sorts, I guess you'd say, with the investigation. Respectfully, he's always said, maybe it's not right. It's weird, but I feel like the only possible person that's absolutely gonna make sure that there's justice in this case is not Ann Taylor. It's Steve. Steve knows a lot of things. Steve has a family password to Kaylee's phone. He's claimed so many times on television to the world that he has seen things he doesn't believe that the police have seen or each side of the case has even seen. He doesn't want to sabotage it, but you better believe an angry father who lost his daughter in such a brutal way will make sure that this person is found. But it seems to me that it's almost like they're trying to convince him that this is the only possible person who could have done this. But I know that Kaylee's father is a very, very smart man. He loved his daughter a lot, and he loved even another child as if she were his own child. They have Maddie's ashes next to Kaylee's ashes in their living room, above the fireplace, side by side. But it looks like he's got two girls to fight for. That's the way he sees it. And he's not going to sit down and just take it. Fathers love their daughters.
Just horrific. I hope no one ever has to go through something like that. Maddie May Day is something that my sisters came up with. We just wanted to have her birthday, May 25th, be a day that we celebrate and that makes people's lives better in the name of Maddie May.
This isn't right. But I find it so interesting that he keeps saying it doesn't seem like the right person and that they should have more than one suspect. I think if this case falls through and Bryan isn't guilty and he's being set up, I think Steve's gonna save the day, guys. I really do. Seems like he knows a lot of things. The reason for not having any other suspects is absolutely outrageous. There must have been somebody there to assist or to drive or to be a lookout. They're not considering any of these things. It's all about Bryan Kohberger. I don't understand. I do want to encourage everyone to look deep into this case and try to find the facts that are presented by people. People like Steve and Christy, Kaylee's parents. Kaylee's sister. Both of Kaylee's sisters. Xana's sisters. Ethan's parents. These are the people that we need to believe. They're not sure what they're able to say on camera. Sometimes things just slip. And you know what? Most of the time, they're completely opposite of what the news is telling us. I'm not surprised. Are you surprised about that? It's crazy. As a matter of fact, I want to make very clear that I don't think it has anything to do with Bryan Kohberger. If there's exculpatory evidence and every piece of evidence he's asked to have unsealed, he'd have to be really, really stupid to want everybody to see that he was a
serial killer.
Don't you think? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of this community. If you would like any information on becoming a paid member, it is on the community tab. You can find it. It's there. There's a link. Thank you for everybody who is already a paid member or an unpaid subscriber. I appreciate every single one of you. I will meet you in the comments after the premiere of this video. And I just want to remind you guys to stay suspicious. See you at 4:20 on Monday.